This one, country name in the country table. Yeah, compulsory. How did you make it compulsory? If anyone missed the lesson last time, let me show you. You go to design view of country and country name. One method is setting this required to US. Then the message it will produce is a system generated message. If you want to customize the message, you can put it as is not null for validation rule. Is not null. Always remember validation rule is the accepted value. So is not null. That means the field should not be null. Is the accepted value. If you violate the rule, this is the message that will be displayed. Country name is compulsory. So we tested it, and if you leave it and try to the next one, it says country name is compulsory. Now, if you are in the editing mode in this new record, press escape until the values disappear, and then only you can close it. Right? Okay. Open the table daily stats. Set date, stat date. Display today's date by default using a function. And I remember I told you to underline the important things, right? Daily stat, set stat date, today's date using a function when the table is open. That is for the new record, right? Set the date format to short date. Okay, can you remember a function that we used in Excel to get the system date? Remember we use a function to get the system date and time both in Excel. Come on, guys, you have to speak, otherwise I will feel asleep, and I will definitely sleep here. Speak up. What was the function we used? I mean, 22 people are there, no one is speaking now. What is the function we used in Excel? Can't remember. At least you said that. Can't remember. Yenul, can you remember? Rashmi? Let me. Okay. At least say can't remember, will you? Okay, so what you do is you use equal sign and type NOW. It's a now function, right? Open bracket, close bracket, enter. You get the date and time. If you use today function, open bracket, close bracket, you get only the date. Okay. And if you use now function and if you want to get only the date, what you do is you go to number formattings and select short date. So this is the exact thing you have to do in Access. Okay. So remember in Excel we can use now and today, but Access of course doesn't give today. So what should we do? Daily stat. Daily stat. Go to design view, stat date, because stat date is the date, current date where we take the daily stats, daily figures, right? So it's better, like rather than entering today's date over and over again, it's better to get it from the system. That's the whole idea, right? So what we do is for default value, because this should be visible when you go for a new record. So you put it to default value. You put equals NOW, open bracket, close bracket, now function. And if you leave it, see, it shows the date and the time as well because it's now function. So now how do you format it to display only the date? This general date, you set it to short date. Simple. Is that clear? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, right. So that's how you set it to today's date, right? Link the four tables using relationships, paste a screenshot of the link tables onto the same document, right? To link, can you tell me where should we go to link?
Database tools.
Excellent. You go to database tools, relationships, and you need to add the tables. Click on add tables. Just double click on tables. And if you accidentally double click again, you can see the table comes as a copy _1. So just select it and delete. Next thing is to do is to expand so that you can see all the columns. You can see all the fields. Just keep them like this, side by side. And you can see, in fact, I told you that there was a mistake. There's no primary key in this daily stat, right? So what you can do is you can set stat code to the primary key. You can do it from here itself. Just right click, go to table design, right click, primary key, save. Right. So how do you link the tables? What do you need to link? You need two keys. What are the two keys you need?
Country code.
No. I mean, what are the two keys you need to link?
Foreign key and primary key.
Foreign key and primary key. Very good. Well, what about others? Please speak up, right? Just like I'm talking to some corona patients. Speak up, speak up. Doesn't matter, it gets wrong, right? Okay, so primary key to foreign key, right? So here you can see country code is a primary key in the treatments. In daily stats, country code is the foreign key. Stat code is the primary key. So you drag the primary key or the foreign key to the primary key, and don't forget to enforce referential integrity. Great. But make sure that you don't have any tabs open here, right? Many students, they do that mistake. They have all the tables open and then they try to link. In database, these components are opened exclusively, which means if you are working on one, the other component is locked. Okay, so if you have opened the table, you are working on the table, so it won't let you create links. Make sure that as a general rule, make sure that you don't have anything in your workspace before you start doing something in Access. Okay, right. It's very important that you know how to troubleshoot as well. Otherwise, you will be wasting a lot of time. Um, you'll be in panic. We won't be able to help unless it's a serious software or a hardware. Like, you're on your own. You must be able to troubleshoot. So you should know what the error is, what is happening, what is going on. Right? Okay, and here also current country code is the primary key. Here's the foreign key. Drag and drop. Enforce, create. Right. Now we have one too many, one too many. Okay. But if you take these two, you see country code is the primary key here and country code is the primary key here as well. So if you have two tables with the same primary key, it's going to be 1 to 1. If you drag these two, create, see, it's 1 to 1. That's obvious because for a country, you have only one record of cases because it has total cases, total deaths, total recovered, active cases, critical. That's only for a country, a specific country. That's why it's 1 to 1. Okay. And here it's repeating, daily stats are repeating for a country because we need to record daily figures for each country. Okay. And here also it is repeating for each country. You can see for one country it is repeating many times. Why? Because we do treatments at regular basis. Right? Total tests done will be for a particular day. Right? Tests for 1 million population will be for a particular day. Okay, so this is the link. This is how you link, right? And you take a screenshot using the snipping tool like that, and close it, save changes no, and paste it to Word straight away. And don't forget to save this relationship, just close, save changes yes. If you want to get it back, just go to Related Tools and Relationships. That will be there. Okay? Right. Is that clear? Any questions, any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Yeah. No question, right? So feel free to ask any questions, any doubts. Don't be afraid. Find out because you have only about 2 weeks, right? When is it? You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, only 2 weeks. Find out the countries where the population. Yeah.
Sir, for what do we put the null value?
Which null value?
For the database.
Are you referring to the previous one?
Yeah.
You mean this one, right? This one, right? Is it?
Sir.
Yeah. Is this the one you are referring to?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here, like, this is actually to make the country name compulsory. That means to give it a presence check.
Okay,
That
sir.
means you have to enter the country name. You can't leave it blank. Null is blank. So there are two ways of you doing this. One is you can set the required to yes. Here you can set the required to yes. That's one way, right? But then the error message is a system generated error message, which is not really user friendly. The other method is you can put a validation rule as is not null. Is not null. Why is it put it as is not null? Because we always look at the accepted value for validation rule. What is accepted is not null. It shouldn't be null, right? But if someone makes it null, that means if someone makes it, leave it blank, this error message will be displayed. So null means empty. Is not null means it's not empty. Okay, we are checking whether it is not empty. If it is empty, it will produce this message. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Find out the countries where the population is more than 10 million. 10 million. Show only the country code, country name, population. Be sorted in ascending order of population. Right. Okay, so that's a query. Create query design. Right. Country code, country name, population. So that comes from one table. Right. Country code. Just double click country code. Sometimes double click might not work. Then of course you drag and drop. Right. And population. Nothing else, or just a single table. Be sorted in ascending order of population. Ascending order of population. Any other criteria? Yes. Population more than 10 million. That is the population. More than is you put greater than 10 million. They have given the number of zeros. It's 7, right? 7 zeros. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Run it. Okay, these are the countries with more than 10 million population. Sri Lanka is also there. Okay. Okay. Right. So I'm not going to now when you're saving these queries, try to close it. Save changes, yes. Put the question number A, P, H, followed by a small title, top greater than 10 mil, something like that. So that you can easily find it. You know what that query is. Otherwise, I have seen most of the students, they save it as query 1, query 2, query 3. Then every time they have to run it and check. That's time consuming. So just give a name like this, proper name like this. Okay, save the query, paste the results. They want the results. When they ask for results, don't use design view. You get the results, just open it up, click right here where the column headings and row headings meet. Just click there. It will select the whole table. Just copy and paste it in. Simple as that. Remember, if they say copy, you can't take a screenshot. Okay. Any questions there? Did you understand? So it's a single criteria query. Your queries is all your queries will be select queries, but at different levels of complexity, right? Okay, just paste it. But before pasting, don't forget to put the question number and a small title. Just a minute. Eh? Don't forget to put the question number, task with 3H followed by a small title, right? Countries with population more than 10 million. After that, you paste it. Then you to remove this paste option, press escape and take the corner handle and drag like this. So make it neat and tidy, right? And then to get the cursor below the table, you just need to double click somewhere there, right? Not pressing enter, just double click there. Okay, is that clear? Any question there? No?
No,
A3I, create a query to select countries with at least 50,000 total cases. Okay, that's another select query, create query design, tables. So country code, country name, total cases. So I think we need to use cases here. Okay, not only cases, because from cases you get only total cases. So country code is there, but country name is not there. So we need the country table as well. Now remember, when you're taking two tables, sometimes you will not get the link. Okay, let me show you. If you take this one, you can see that there's no link between the two tables. Then you can't be running this query. What you have to do is you need to get that table which links these two together. Where there will be another table or two which links these two tables together through that table. So let's try daily stats. No. Oh yes, yes, daily stats. This is the table which will link country and treatments together. So you need to have daily stats. Keep that in mind, right? Many students they get this wrong without adding that table. Okay. So if these two tables are there and if there's no link appearing, that means there should be another table or two or more in between these two. So try the other one, daily stats. Okay, you see the links. That's how you should have. At the same time, remember, if you are using only these three tables, right, or these two tables, if you're using treatments and country, you need to have daily stats. Let's say you're using fields from these three tables only. Don't have any other table. Right? If you're not using a table for fields, remember to delete that. Otherwise, what will happen is there will be so much of records, right? Records will be doubled and tripled. Okay, right. So what are the fields we need? Country code. Country code we can take from any table. Country name, and you need the total cases as well. And again, it's a single criteria. Total cases should be at least 50,000. How do you put when it says at least 50,000? When it says at least 50,000, yes, greater than or equal to 50,000, right? 50,000. Remember, equal comes after the greater than. Yeah, that's it. Right. Okay, and don't forget to check. Oh, it's not total test. It should be total cases, right? I got wrong. Total. Oh, total cases. We don't need this, right? Total cases. Okay, if you're taking total cases, you need only this two are enough, right? Okay, so total cases, and then greater than or equal to 50,000. Check whether they are more than 50,000. Yes. So don't forget to get it confirmed. Double check, right? Okay, let's move to the next one. Using a query, select the countries which had more than 1,000 new cases in the month of August. So the hint is given to look for the month of August. You need to have the first date and the last date of August, and these are the fields in this order. In this order, create query design tables. You need the country code, country name. You need the country table. New cases. Where do you have new cases? No cases. Daily sets. Yeah, daily sets. As new cases. Country code to country code. That's fine. You don't need cases. Stat date. Stat date is also there, right? Okay, let's fill the fields first. Country code, country name, new cases, and stat date in this order. Remember, this is the correct order, right? If you want to change the order, you can just click on one of these fields like this. When you see that dark arrow, just click there and click on the heading and drag. See, you can, rearrange these fields. Just click and drag. Okay. So have we got the correct order now? Country code, country name, new cases. Yeah. Okay. Any criteria? Yes. 1,000 new cases. More than, so greater than 1,000. And here's the other criteria, right? Now, many students, what they did was they didn't expand this column. Right? As a result, only half of the criteria could be seen, and they lost, almost all the marks. Right. So how do you do it? Can anyone tell me how to do this? You can't type August there. You need to give a range of dates.
So using
between. Yes, you can use between, the keyword between. Between one slash eight. Before doing that, you need to check the date format in your computer. Now you can see in my one it's 30th 10th, that is DDMM. In your school computer, it might be different. It might be the US format. Then you need to give it according to the US format. So be careful there. You might get mixed up with the date formats. Okay. So in my case, of course, it should be 1/8/2020, and then end operator, and then the last date.
in the criteria, bro.
Oh yes, sorry. Thank you. In the criteria. 2020. Yes. So when you put it like this, Okay, I'll explain that here as well, here itself. When you put these two criteria under criteria field, what we have is the AND operator, right? This condition and this condition when you put everything in the criteria. So in order to get the results, this condition has to be true as well as this condition has to be true. Okay. Now suppose if I put this under O, this means it's the O operator between the conditions. Either this should be satisfying or this should be satisfying. So you get results that satisfy this as well as results that satisfy this. Okay. So keep that in mind, right? If this condition satisfies, you get those results. If this condition satisfies without satisfying this, you get these results. Even if both conditions are satisfied, you get those results. But if it is AND operator between the two conditions, both these conditions have to be true. Now we are getting the new cases. We are getting the countries where the new cases of in August is greater than 10. Okay, only two countries. These actual figures, because I copied them from the Corona website. Yeah, in the month of August, there were two countries. I didn't take all the countries, only few countries here, but these were the two countries, right? From the list I got. Okay, now this has to be saved because the next one is a report based on this query. Right? Create a report using the query above. So let me save this. Yes. Again, don't forget to put the question number A3J. August new cases. August more than 1,000 new cases. Right. Okay. Now, what is the option we use to create a report? Now, for forms, it was wizard. Reports?
Report wizard.
Report also wizard. Okay. So remember, form wizard, report wizard. Query design, table design. Keep that in mind, right? Okay. Create report wizard. Select the query A3J. Select all the fields. We have all the fields: country code, country name, new cases, and scan date. Yes, all the fields. Next. Do not have any levels of grouping. Now you can see here you are going to have some levels. Country is going to be on top, and then the new case is going to be on the next level, right? So make sure that you don't have any levels or grouping. So what you have to do is just select the other option. Now you can see here, if you select country, you get the levels. If you select daily stats, everything is together. So you need to go for this. Okay. So you need to get the report design parameters right at the beginning to get a proper output. Otherwise, you will have to delete the report and do it again. Okay. So get it right here itself, right? Next, any grouping. Now, you know what grouping is? Grouping is categorizing. Grouping is done if you have repeating values, like for example, here country name. If you group according to country name, you will get one country and all the records. Another country, all the records for that country. So we don't need any grouping levels because they don't want it. So just skip it. Any sorting, be sorted in ascending order of country name. So here you select country name and it's already in ascending order. Next, don't change anything here if they haven't asked, because they have tested this report. You don't need to change anything if they haven't asked, right? Not even landscape if they haven't asked. But layout, keep it as tabular. For form, we went to columnar. For tables, reports, keep it as tabular. Next. Now this is very, very important. Okay, this is something almost everybody gets wrong because they don't put a proper title. Okay, now can you say daily stats for this? Can you can we say daily stats for this? Can anyone suggest me a proper title? Can be a proper title for this? Come on, suggest me a title.
Sir, new cases in the month of August?
What?
New cases in the month of August?
Okay, but one criteria is missing there.
Countries that had more than 1,000 cases.
More than 1,000 new cases, no? In August. Okay, so all these criteria must be represented in the title, right? So countries with more than 1,000 new cases in August. And that's a proper title. Okay. Right. As soon as you generate the report, close print review and go to layout view. Layout view is right here. Okay. There are certain changes you need to do here. First and foremost, check the paper size. Its letter, set it to A4. Margins to narrow. Portrait landscape don't change. Yeah, that's fine. The other thing is now you can see that this column is out of the margin and you don't need this much of space for the country name. So let's reduce the sizes of these, right? Widths of these columns. Now the problem is if I try to reduce one, it doesn't affect the values. Okay, if I try to move this to rearrange, it is ungrouped. Right? First of all, you check whether they are in order. Country code, country name, new cases, candidate. That is fine. But sometimes you don't get the proper order. I will show you what to do in that case, right? So first of all, to reduce the size, let's group these columns. It's better to group these columns. To group, click on the title, press shift. While pressing shift, you click on the data. Okay, click on the title, press shift. While pressing shift, you click on the data and go to arrange and select stacked. That will group the column. Now you can reduce the width altogether. See? And if you want to move, you can click on this four-headed arrow and just move it. Simple as that. See? Okay. Right. Same thing. Let's do it to country code. Select shift. While pressing shift, click on the data. Arrange tabular. Oh, right. This one. This one. Tabular, not tabular. Stacked. Okay. Stacked. This one. Shift. Data. Stacked. Title. Shift. Data. Stacked. Tabular we use for buttons in the form. This one, let's increase. Okay. Now the order is fine. Right? Suppose the order was different. Right? I told you, like, even though you select the order in the wizard, it may not come as it is when you finally get the output, right? So in that case, you need to reorder this. Now, since we have grouped, it's easy to reorder. For example, if you want to, okay, I think I have done a mistake here. Yeah, both these are grouped. Let me undo. Okay, this is grouped. This is grouped. Now remember, when you're bringing this, don't touch there, right? Don't touch there. See, it gets touched. If you touch, what happens is both the columns will be grouped together. So you just leave it behind. Okay, so remember that, right? Okay, now if I'm to change, let me do this first. Stack, expand, right? If you were to have stat date next to country code, now since I have grouped this, I can move it like that and bring it like that. See how easy it is. Okay, and the page number is also out of margin. Let's bring it here. Reduce. Everything is fine. Another thing you need to check is the field names. The field names have to be sensible, right? For example, it can't be F name; it should be first name, right? These are fine.
So for stat date,
Stat date is okay, no? Stat is like short for statistics, no? If you want, you put statistics date. Statistics. Doesn't matter, right? What I mean is like it can't be F name, it can't be L name. It should be first name, last name.
okay, sir.
Wherever possible, you need to expand it, right? Let's center align this. Home. Okay. And since you are getting black and white printouts, let's make it black. Okay. Did you forget anything?
Sir,
Yeah.
since they have not asked for the page number and the date, do we have to still leave them there or remove them?
We need to have. Because in a standard report, you should have the date and the page number. That is something we definitely need. So don't remove that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Did you forget? Did you forget something?
So the logo,
Huh?
logo and the house tag.
Yes, that's right. We forgot the house style. Okay. Um, lastly, the footer. Okay. So let's go to design view. Let's increase the report header area. This area. You take the mouse pointer over there and drag it downwards. And let's bring the title down. According to the last time, remember I told you to type the style, house style in a notepad so that we can check it, right? So that you don't need to go back to the first page and check the house style over and over again. So the company name should be here. Take a label. It should be in capital. This is COVID 19 research center. It should be 15 points. 15 is not there, so you need to type it. Press enter. Center line, bold. Okay, and now how do you take this thing? The logo. To get the logo, you can open the previous Word document. I don't have it. Yeah, I don't have it. So just open a previous Word document and take a snip from there, right? So that you don't need to save it. So for the moment, I'll take this one. Just preview, and I'm going to take a snip from there. So what you would be doing is, since you have pasted the logo into Word, you can just take a snip from there so that you don't need to save your logo. If you want, you save. Doesn't matter, right? It's not a must. And just take a snip and just paste there. Okay. So don't worry. Virus is big. If you reduce, what happens is it gets cropped. Can you tell me what I showed you? What should you do for this?
Properties.
Property is good. And then
Stretch.
where? Where do you select stretch?
Mode.
Size mode. Yeah, very good. Yeah? Excellent. Stretch. Okay. Make it small. Bring it to the right corner. And that's it. Take this up. So easy, right? Okay. Finally, what like told, the footer. So report footer, you can either take the report footer or the page footer. Just drag. I'm dragging the page footer. Okay, and for this, use a label. Some students they use text box. If you use a text box, it will ask for a value, right? And then you have to escape it. If you don't know, you will panic. The best thing is to use a label. Just draw a label and type your details. Don't put your name and class there. It should be your candidate number, candidate name, center number, center name. Those four. Okay, which is in your admission card. View it. This is the report view. And report, of course, you'll be asked to print. Match the house style. So don't forget to cross-check. Have I matched the house style? Yes. Ascending order. Is it in ascending order of the country? Yes. Uh, Details in the footer? Yes. Have I got the sensible field names? Yeah. Suitable title? No groups? Yes. Everything is fine. So you get your 4 marks. Okay. So print the report, file,
So in the
print.
house file, they will include like what font and all you have to use, right?
Yeah. Just get the house style details into a notepad so that you can check it here itself. Otherwise, always you will have to go back to the first page and tough work. No? So print review. Okay, where is the logo? Logo is gone. Cross print review. See, it's outside the margin, right? See the margin. If you are in layout view, it's there. So make sure that you definitely check the print review, right? So I need to bring it here. And I need to reduce this as well. Okay, now it's fine. File, print, review, everything is perfect. Here's your name. Okay. So remember, you need to have the date and page number. Don't remove that. That's a must in the report. Okay, so that's the end of database. Any questions? So you need to do more and more questions. Next, I'll discuss 2019 paper, or maybe another paper. Right. This was about a poster, eye-catching poster, to make awareness of the about the pandemic. So this is so easy, right? But make sure that you make it elegant, right? Use the don't just copy the information they have given into a page and just print it. Right? Your design skills are tested here. It should be effective. It should be eye-catching, right? People should be willing to read this, not to throw it away. Okay, people, you should put a nice caption so that you can bring the attention of the people, right? So for this poster, you just check some posters in internet, not in the exam, before going to the exam, right? Okay. If you analyze some posters, you will see uh, what kind of design elements you should have to make it more attractive, right? See, large images, large font sizes, different colors, but don't play with colors that much because you are getting a black and white printout. The key point is make it contrasting, right? If the text is black, have the background white. If the text is dark gray, uh, make the other text light gray like that. Make it contrasting. Large font shapes or shapes like this, contrasting colors, right? Images. That's very important. Okay. So before you go to the exam, just analyze few posters. just in case it pauses down, right? But I can tell you many students what they just do it, they just copy and paste the given information into a page and just print it. That's not going to work, right? Okay, let's move to the spreadsheet.
Sir?
Yeah.
Sir, can you do that mail merge using a database thing?
Okay, sure, no problem. I will do it. Shall I do it in the next class?
Yes, sir.
Can you just remind me?
Okay, sir.
I will take this spreadsheet because it was somewhat standard. So let me show this to you, right? COVID-19 Research Center maintains an Excel sheet to analyze the data. There are 3 worksheets. So this has to be checked. Okay? 3 worksheets. Usually you get 2 worksheets. And sometimes students they miss some of these worksheets. Okay, we have 3 cases, test, and country. Okay. Sort the table in descending order. Descending order. Highlight this of total cases in the cases worksheet. Descending order of total cases. Right. So what you do is you highlight the whole table. Descending order of cases, right? Cases. Cases worksheet. Or total cases, right? So highlight the whole table, and then you go to data, and select sort. Don't go for this A to Z and Z to A, right? Because usually you get multi-level sort. In this one, of course, it's a single level sort. Just like in Access, it's better you go to sort. In Access, of course, it's advanced filter sort. Sort. So highlight the whole table, including the titles. Okay, including the titles. Go to data, select sort, and make sure my data has headers is selected. If it is not, what you get is column A, B, C, D like this. If you have selected this, you get the column names. Okay. Total cases, descending order. Total cases, descending order, largest to smallest. Okay. And don't forget to check. Easy, right? Format the table, add borders and shading. Okay. Let's highlight the table. Now don't go for these options, styles. You will mess the whole worksheet. Just add the simple borders and simple shading. And shading, of course, go for gray color, different amounts of gray, bold. Insert a new row above the first row. To insert a new row above the first row, just right click on the first row heading and select insert. Okay. If you want to insert above 3, right click on 3 and insert. That's about 3, right? India goes down. Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, what? I came across a question once that they had asked
Okay.
sort like one of the like columns
Yeah.
in order within another one. Like for
Okay.
example, if it's total cases
Yes.
in
Yes.
A to Z, the other one
Yeah.
should be like in another.
Yeah. Very good question. Huh? Thank you. Thank you for asking that. That's when you have this within, right? Many students they get they misunderstand this. That's a bit of an English issue, right? So they give one column, then they say within another column, right? Column 1, column 2. Thank you for that bringing that question, right? Column 1 within column 2. So many students they do this wrong because they don't understand the meaning of within. So can you tell me which one should be sorted first? Because when you have multi-level sort, always you should sort one first and another second. So which
Column
one?
2.
Column 2, that's right. So the within part should be sorted first. Okay. For example, here if they said sort, actually that kind of sort is not applicable for this one. It is applicable if you have repeating values, right? For example, let's say USA is repeating, right? And then we have two more figure, another figure in front of USA. Now, if you sort first according to the country, that's a problem. We don't know which USA record to take first. Now that's where we have multi-level sorting, right? So this within part comes, right? So you will be sorting within the country. If the country is the same, you will be going through the second column, that is this one, right? So what will happen is within the country, the second column will be sorted. So let me show you something. Well, actually, there are no figures here to show you. Uh, I'll take it in another paper, right? But just understand, within part should be sorted first. Okay? So if you do something like that here, you go to data, sort. You need to click on add level. Click on add level and select another field and set the sorting. Okay. Now the first priority goes to the first row. Second priority goes to the second one. So all you got to do is put the within part to the first one, second one to the second. For that you need to click on add level. Simple. Okay. I'll take a question from another paper. Insert a row, merge cells across the table. Right click, insert, merge, highlight everything, merge and center. It's right here. Add a suitable title and format it. What can be the title? What can we say?
COVID-19 analysis.
Yeah. COVID-19 country analysis. Increase the font. Right. Let's add a light gray color. Let's add the border for that as well. Okay, that's done. Using a suitable function, add today's date and time in cell A18. Now you know the function, that is equals NOW, open bracket, close bracket. Enter, you get the date and time. And if they ask for a label, you should have a label. Maybe somewhere here, today's date. That's a label. That's what a label is, right? To identify the valid figure. Add a new field in column H, and it should be named as total cases. Add another field at the end and name it recover percentage. That's here. Field at the end means it should be the field recover percentage.
So column H should be total tests.
Yes, thank you. Okay, this is done. This is done. Now calculate the percentage of total recovered against total cases. Okay, we have total cases. We have total recovered. Okay, we need to calculate the recover percentage. Recover percentage. So can you tell me how do you calculate the recover percentage? If you do it in maths.
So is it recovered over total cases into 100?
Yes, exactly. We have total cases of this amount. Out of this amount of people have recovered. So what you do is equals total recovered divided by total cases. In maths, of course, you will be multiplying it by 100 as well. But in IT, in spreadsheet, you just get it as a fraction. Just take it as a fraction. Okay. Take it as a fraction, and then you have to format it into percentage right here. There you go. And did you see that it gets rounded up as well? 53. Okay, so remember, just get the fraction and turn it into percentage. Take it down. You can even double click on the fill handle. Oh, it doesn't work because yeah, that's because of the merge fields here. Yeah, here we haven't merged. Yeah, we didn't merge this one. Let's merge this again. Cells need to be the same size. Oh, there's a merge field here. Sorry. You see, this cell is merged accidentally. Right? Remove it. Then right? So if you fill it, it fills this too as well. Or else you simply drag this. Okay, so that's how you calculate the percentage, right? Calculate the total of fields, columns C to H. C to H. C to H, calculate the totals. Now, total test we haven't filled yet, but you can calculate total. What you do is you can use the auto sum here. Right, auto sum, just select the cell, click on auto sum, but double check on the selection, right? Check whether it is selecting the correct values. Press enter and then drag it horizontally for total test as well. Simple, right? Now, this one, the most important thing. Fill the total test from the test worksheet in column H of the worksheet cases, comparing the values of worksheet's test using a suitable function. Actually, the hint, there is a function, lookup function, or you can use VLOOKUP. I would suggest you to use VLOOKUP because it saves time. You don't need to save. I mean, you don't need to sort the table. It's pretty easy. Okay. If you want, you can check my video on lookup and VLOOKUP. But I would suggest that use VLOOKUP. Okay. So what you have to do, you have to bring the total test values here from the test worksheet. But you know, if you are using lookup or VLOOKUP, there should be a common field. Now you can see the common field is the country code. Country code is here as well as here. So what is the technique? You match the country code, and if there's a match found, you bring the related fields. It's so easy. Just go there, click on FX. If VLOOKUP is there, you can take it. Otherwise, go to all and just type VLOO really fast. VLOO, that will be installed to VLOOKUP. Okay. There are 3 parameters, actually 4 parameters to give. These 4. Lookup value. Lookup value is what we are comparing. We are comparing the country code. So just select the country code. Make sure that you don't click anywhere else. Okay. Table array. Table array is the lookup table, the whole table that is in tests. The whole table, including the titles. Since we are going to copy the formula to other cells, you better absolute this. You need to make it absolute. To make it absolute, you press what is the function key we press to make it absolute.
F4.
F4, function key F4, not F and 4, function key F4, right? Press function key F4. In your laptops, of course, you might have to use Fn key and F4 or without Fn key, but in the exam, of course, just press F4. Both cells will be made absolute. But if you press F4 again, see what happens. The pattern changes. So you have to be careful there, right? So don't worry, just press again until the correct pattern comes. There you go. Okay, both the column name and the cell number should be absolute. Next is the column index. Column index is the number of the column where we have the values to bring. I can't really remember the column. Let me go to test. Now, when it goes to test, what happens is it appears as test exclamation. It shouldn't be. That's why I told you like not to click anywhere else. So you need to keep an eye on the number of columns here, right? First column, second column, third column. So my values are in the second column. So the column index should be number 2. When you select number 2, you can see it is showing a sensible value here. Now the other important thing is the range lookup. Range lookup, as a habit, put it as false. False. Why? Because if you put false, it will look for an exact match. If you don't put false, results will be wrong. Why? We didn't sort the lookup table. Normally, for looking up, the table should be sorted. The lookup table should be sorted. So if you are using lookup function, there's no range lookup. Therefore, in lookup, of course, the table has to be sorted, no matter what. But in this case, even if you don't sort, if you put false here, no worries. It will find the exact match. So as a habit, put false here. Right. So are you okay with the parameters? Lookup value is what you are comparing. Table array is the whole lookup table.
So the
Absolutely.
lookup value should be common in both tables, right?
Of course, it should be there in both tables, right? And in fact, in the lookup table, it should be the first column. I mean, in VLOOKUP.
So in the sandpaper, for the range lookup, they had put 0 in the answers.
0,
Yeah, 0.
even 0 might work because 0 is false. No? 1 is true, yes. Okay. 0 works. Or just put false. 0 is also okay. Correct. But remember, VLOOKUP works only if the matching field is the first column in the lookup table. But for your level, of course, I think they are giving it as the first column. So no worries. For A levels, of course, they mix it. Right? Okay. Copy down and double check the values. USA 72 something. USA 72, that's correct. Randomly you check Finland 50,000. Finland. Okay. Right. Okay. Similarly, you need to fill. What's that question? We missed it. Isn't it there? This one, we missed it. In the country in column B, same as this. Same as this, you have to fill the country. Now, where is country coming from? Country table. Again, there's a common field, right? Okay. And our column is number 2 again. What do you do? FX. This time you can get we look up from most recently used. Lookup value is a country code. Table array is the whole table. See, when you practice it, it's really easy. F4 and it's pretty fast as well. 2 and false or 0. Thank you, Shaik. 0 also accepted. right? So here, of course, you can check. It's easy. Finland, Syria, Sri Lanka, yes. Easy, right? Okay, final question. We have come to the final question as well. Okay. Produce a chart to compare the total cases and total deaths and total recovered against the country for the 5 countries with the highest 5 total cases. Okay. Right now, how do you find the highest 5 total cases? Can you give me an idea?
You have to sort it.
Yeah, you can sort it in descending order, right? Or ascending order, or descending order would be better. Mm. Any other method? Let's try the filter, data filter. What are the options we have? See, top 10. You can give top 5. Pretty easy, right? Okay, so that's the filter. Either you sort it in descending order. I think it's already sorted in descending order. Yeah. So if you're sorting it in descending order, you can select only the first 5, or else you can do filtering. To filter, you have to click on one of the fields, any field, go to data, and select filter. Drop it down, go to number filters, select top 10, make it top 5. Okay. Right. So what are the fields we need to select against the country? So we need to select the country, total cases, total deaths, and total record. So it's pretty easy to select all of them together. No, yeah, all of them together like this. If you're selecting from different places like country code and these, select country code first. Press control. While pressing control, you select the other 3 fields. But it has to be done very carefully, right? You need to select it at a stretch, and then only you press control. While pressing control, you select the rest at a stretch. Right? Don't click anywhere else, right? Even those cells are getting selected. See? Okay. Select control, select at a stretch. Okay. But here, of course, we need to select these only. Go to insert, chart. Where is chart? Where is chart? Where is chart? Don't go for stack chart. Just go for basic chart. Right? This is more than enough. Right? Right. So is the chart correct? For each country, we should have 3 columns. No? Total cases, total deaths. Right. Right. Now that's pretty interesting facts, isn't it? When it comes to a graph, total cases, total recovered. The death amount is really low, no, compared to these cases. But we fear, no, we fear looking at the deaths. We fear that it's a terrible thing. But if you really look at with the other figures, the death rate is nothing, right?
Sir,
Huh?
sir, can you repeat the question in the next class?
What?
Can you do a web authoring question in the next class?
Again, more another web authoring.
Yeah, sir.
I have done like 4. Why you missed the lesson?
Yeah, sir, I couldn't come.
So can't you watch the video and do it?
Ah, okay, sir.
The video is there, and just watch the video and do it. And if you have any doubts, let me know. Right?
Okay, sir.
So you were like,
If
this time chances are low that reporting.
Yes, chances are low, but we can't take any chances. We can't predict. The best thing is you do it with the video, right? Pause the video and do it, and it should be clear. Yeah, if it is, I mean, if there's any doubts, let me uh, clarify.
Sir,
Okay. Yeah.
sir, for in the school lab, you're putting Macromedia Dreamweaver 8, right?
We are putting Macromedia Review 8. I have shared the setup with you.
It's the same one we are using right now.
Same one, yes, yes. I have got a request from another, I don't know from which country, a student from another country who has requested me to do the same web browsing question using Expression Web. So I'm going to do a video on that as well. But Expression more than Expression Web, Review is easy. Right, Noor, right?
So if you use websites like Wix,
Okay.
it's possible.
For the exam?
Yeah, like you can make web pages right using that.
Yeah, but are you crazy? Like, it's in internet now. How can they give internet to make websites? Right? Then you can nicely do the exam. Right. So the chart is not ended here. Insert the chart to a new sheet. So how do you put it in a new sheet? You need to right click on the chart and move chart and new sheet. It comes like this, and the chart title is very important. You can say uh, comparison of total cases, deaths and recovery. Comparison of total cases, deaths and recovery. For what? Now you have to be specific, right? For what? For the top, for the top 5 countries with total cases. Okay. Then you need to have access titles. How do you have access titles? Select the chart, go to chart design, add chart element, access titles, primary horizontal, add chart element, access titles, primary vertical. This one is country. This one can say number of people. Right. Now, before printing, enter your name and class in the footer. Before printing, you need to increase the font sizes of these because in a chart, these should be visible even from a distance, right? Country. ඒ කෑ ගහන්න එපානේ රෙකෝඩ් වෙනවා. Right, and then here you can increase the font size. Increase font size here before printing, and before printing you need to add the head and footer. Yep.
So for the colors in on the charts, sir, should they be like black and white, sir?
No, just these colors would be okay, but you have to make sure that these are contrasting. How can you check? I'll tell you. I think it's better you change the colors, right? You just change the colors to like this one to black, this one to dark gray, and this one to light gray, something like that. something like that would be better. Like that. Right? Or if you feel these colors are contrasting, right now, right? Bold. Okay. Right. So you go to insert and here head and footer. Now this one, the head and footer is slightly different. Slightly different. You need to click on custom header or custom footer, and then here center or left or right. Can edit, right? And here itself you can check the print preview. That's how you finalize the chart. 88%. Okay. Okay, I think we have finished the database as well. Sorry, spreadsheet. Next one is a PowerPoint presentation. I will take this in the next class. It's a simple one. Yeah, that's it. That's okay.
So have you
And I will,
uploaded this paper?
yeah, I will upload the PVS. Sure. And let's do a mail merge question as well because you requested. Just can you just post it in the or send me a message in the WhatsApp group or somewhere. Okay, so practice as much as possible, right? You have only 16 days. That's more than enough. That's more than enough to get a good grade. Only thing is you have to stay focused and ask as much questions as possible, right? And do as much questions as possible. Make sure that you keep those theory questions answered, which I gave you. If you can't find it, let me share it again. Just give me a minute. Okay, these are the questions, right? 27 questions are there. So can you keep them answered? Because I want to discuss these answers with you. This covers the health and safety, then RSI, plagiarism,
So when
web
will you
searching.
discuss it?
Maybe next class. So I'll be having regular classes, right? Until 16, I'll be having regular classes. I will quickly schedule it like this because now the A-level exam is over. We don't have much work, but we need to start the lessons, no? On second. Are you guys coming to the lessons? You have to know from second onwards. Do you know that the school starts on
Yeah,
second?
so it's from 7 to
Yeah,
12,
sir.
right?
7 to 12:30.
So is it a
This time,
must?
yeah, it's a must. And this time you have to switch on your cameras, huh? And teachers also. So make sure that you clean your room and properly dressed and washed your face and everything. We also. Right. Okay. So thank you for coming in. You guys are really awesome because like I have seen this 25 people throughout. That's really good. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay then. See you. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.